Hi, I'm Reagan, and for my senior project, I decided to do a 5K color run, and I started with my essential question of how can I successfully plan, run, and fundraise for a 5K booster race in order to donate money towards helping children in Sudan and Africa. Okay, so the purpose of this, it began with my passion for running. I find it a really enjoyable hobby and just a great way to get people moving. And through the mission, I thought it could be fun to share my love for running with others with the Joy movement, especially with now. I feel like a lot of people are on social media and kind of sitting at home and forget to get out and really move. So for my goal, I wanted to do a successful 5K run and get a community together for a global impact. Also, I'm part of Global Scholars, so I thought it'd be really cool to do something globally. So for Save the Children, this was the foundation I went through. So about 90% of the children in Sudan, Africa are currently displaced. They're under siege, under rapid armed forces in El Fasher, and Sudan is facing the world's largest child displacement crisis. So about 4.6 million children are displaced within Sudan and 1 million more across borders. 13 million children are currently out of school, 80% of hospitals are out of service, and 3.2 million children under 5 face malnutrition. And just going back to what I said, Global Scholars, I definitely needed to incorporate something that was global. And also just reading the statistics and everything, if I had the resources and the opportunity to help raise money for them, I just wanted to take advantage of that. So vision of a graduate. So communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and character, I definitely had to incorporate into my project. Through communication, I had to exchange thoughts and ideas, whether this was with my mentor, my volunteers, Oak Grove Committee, and my mom was a huge one too. She helped me a lot. Collaboration kind of goes with communication a little bit. But with this, I created milestones through the months of doing this project, which I wanted to make sure that I got to. Critical thinking, definitely I had problems come up through this. For example, when I went and I had to do a walkthrough and plan out, I probably had to do 3 to 4 different trails before I was able to find one that would help everyone. And then for character, I had to maintain a positive attitude through this, as things definitely got frustrating as I had to come up with problems or solutions for problems. So timeline, so in September, I created my essential question. I began researching and I decided on my mentor. December, I met with the Oak Grove Committee and I decided a date. In February, I ordered the color powder, created posters and registration forms, and then April is my color run and when I donated the money to the foundation. So planning, so I decided on the location of Oak Grove Farm, and I had to meet with the Oak Grove Committee first. In Oak Grove Farm, it's really good. It can hold a lot of people. It's good for events and through trails. So, and then research, these were the 2 big websites that I found were really helpful. So Chameleon Colors is where I ordered my color from, and it provided really good insight on how to organize a 5K color run, especially with the color. And the For Event Day, it helped me gain a really good insight on how to set up a registration form. And then the course setup, so I settled on 5 color stations. Safety first, so that was basically just getting sunglasses for people to protect their eyes, making sure that participants didn't ingest a lot of color, and making sure they had proper footwear and everything. So Oak Grove, this was my location. I met with the committee in December where we decided on a date. We went over the color powder. It's super eco-friendly, biodegradable, and then they gave me a permit, basically just saying that I need to pick up trash at the end of it. And then these are some of my emails with Mrs. McAvoy, who's the permit holder, and this is my permit. So 3 steps these were the 3 big steps. So first is promotion. So I created a registration form through Google Forms where I provided a short description and links about my when, what, whys. And then the links to Save the Children and chameleon colors, just if people wanted more insight on that. Venmo was the source of payment I used. It was $10 registration fee, and also if people just wanted to donate. And once I created the posters, I added the QR codes on, and then I printed out copies. I hung them around Millis High School, and then went and dropped them off at CFB. Also posted it on social media. My second step was guidance. For this, I chose my mentor, Mrs. Marr. She's a cross-country and track and field coach. She has really good insight at Oak Grove and actually connected me with Oak Grove committee, and also she had really good trails because she had to set it up for 5K races for cross-country. So my third step is race day. So first I had to set up the table, which had posters with all the QR codes and then snacks and water. And then I did a walkthrough, and I placed the arrows down because I had one trail for 1 mile and then another trail for 3 miles. And then I set up the color stations, and my volunteers started coming around 10 in the morning, and I went and I sat them up at the color powder stations. And then participants started showing up, donations were still welcome, registration fees. And then the race started probably around 10:45. And then those are just a couple photos where I set up color stations. This is the color packets, a map of Oak Grove. So then after, I had to clean up the table, do another walkthrough, make sure all the arrows and color stations were picked up. I counted the money, and then I just sent out a big thank you text, emails. I actually still need to write a letter to the Oak Grove committee saying thank you. But this was some of the color powder being thrown. So the outcome, so my goal was $2,000, and I was just shy of the goal with $1,855, which was really good because I only started promoting it about a month before. So I definitely recommend promoting it further out to people who want to do it in the future. But so yeah, it was really good. I had about 15 participants and I think 10 volunteers. And then for the senior showcase, I still had color powder left over, so I bought ponchos for everyone and I brought those in. And then the 20-minute increments where different grades came in, they had color wars, threw it on each other, walked around the track. And I just talked a little bit about results and feedback, like why or why not to do it. And then that's some of that. And then these are my thank you to my donors and participants, my works cited, and then thank you.